Alright. Hey all, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In today's video, we're going to be covering the basics of Guild War. Alright, so as we know, Update 4 brought us Guild Wars. Something very important to keep in mind is that Guild Wars is a beta and a work in progress. If you have ideas on how to improve it, or you notice something that I missed in this video, please leave it down in the comments below. Now, in order to access Guild Wars, you want to click on the battlefield icon here, and then click on Guild Wars. Here you'll see your standard Guild Wars layout. In this case, you can see that we are attacking a team. You can see how much time is left and how much health the guild has left. If you're familiar with Summoner's War, this is very similar. You have the same three-man type of setup for both offense and defense, a 12-hour timer, as well as health for each individual member. Our guild personally follows the 6-point rule. To understand that, you can see under each guild enemy, you have a point value. There is +3, +2, +1, and +0. Keep in mind, you are allowed 3 attacks. So if your guild runs a +6 rule also, which is very common, you can actually attack 2 3s and then a 0. That will give you your 3 attacks and 6 points. 3 2s, or you can go a 3, a 2, and a 1 for 6 points. This helps it be fair so that no one monopolizes all the kills and takes all the glory within a guild. I would check with your guild leader to find out what system that they choose to use for attacks. You do have several options for guild that aren't present in Summoner's War. You have a Guardian. This is a guy who's going to go around and fight with you on both offense and defense. If you'd like to know the abilities, you can click here and see when the cleanse is cast, what exactly it does. These can be upgraded once you unlock them all down to tier skill 5. Once that's done, you can spend points to upgrade these to level 2 abilities as indicated here. Currently it's locked until I unlock tier 5. Make sure you check with your guild to see what they want to focus on, because this is the same currency that you would use to get the Gun Mage. The Gun Mage is actually the new shiny unit only available here. So if you are spending units to upgrade your Guardian, you aren't spending points to get your Gun Mage. So that's a decision you have to make. Some guilds have a requirement, others don't, but I would honestly check with your GL to be sure. Your defense Guardian can be found here, and as you can see, the abilities are similar. One's on defense, one's on offense. They can have separate setups based on what you want to do. You can also review your defense. This is something I highly recommend that you do on a regular basis. You can see this is my current defense team. You can see the individual BR of each one. Now, what they see when attacking you, they see the combined BR of both your round 1 and round 2 defenses. Also, make sure you are setting your synergy traits appropriately. Each team can have its own synergy trait. I actually went with resistance in the first one since the meta currently has a lot of debuffs that are used. And then on the second one, I went with just straight attack that is provided by the vampire. Now, what you really want to check is this. This is how you check to see if your defense log is being effective. In our very first battle, the very first Guild Wars, you can see I lost every single one. You can see the defense I used. This just wasn't good. We just weren't good. I mean, there's no excuses, right? We just weren't good. That's all it is. I lost. Then the second one, I said, how can I make this better? And you can tell because it's 4 attacks. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was the second one. I won 2. I draw 1. I lost 1, which is okay for me. So the next one, I won all of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We won all of them. So that's good. So this defense, you can see, is kind of stabled out. We were attacking harder teams here, so I went with 2 draws and then 2 losses. So it was a much harder guild. So there you go. I mean, that is looking at it, and you want to review this, right? Because you don't want your team to fall off, and you don't want to lose points for your guild. So you always want to come here and say, how can I make my team better? You know, what comps were I losing against, and you can adjust accordingly. Because it is an important part of Guild Wars, right? You don't want to stay static. You want to stay dynamic. You want to make sure that you're changing and adjusting to the current meta to provide the best win percentage that you can on defense. Also, as a bonus to you, as you can see, you do win the medals for each one that you win. If you win both, you get 2. If you win one and you cause a draw, you get one. And obviously, if you lose all of them, you get a big fat 0. Alright, now if you want to see what the current rate is, how you place among your guildies, let's look at mine because mine's is terrible. Here I have 26 wins, 4 losses. Let me tell you, these 4 losses were pretty much the dumbest things you could possibly do. But that's okay. I learned, and I'm getting better, and I'm improving. Hopefully yours looks better. Hopefully yours looks something like, let's see, who has 26? There we go, 27 and 3 losses. That's a little better. But you want to make sure that, you know, you're doing the best you can do. Keep up with the meta. Keep looking at what's going on and adjust accordingly. That's the biggest things I can tell you guys, right? Make sure you're paying attention. You can see the history of who you fought, if you won, if you lost. You can see we started off solid, win, 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 win. And then, oh, 2 losses back to back. Oh, no, no. So we lost 21 points. Wasn't fun. Wasn't fun. So we dropped. And you can see there's 2, right? The first one here with the shield, I'm thinking that's defense. The second one is offense. So we did lose defense on this one. I wish you could click on it so you can see like the breakdown, but you can't. This is your current. This is your current who's attacking you on defense and who you're attacking on offense. And you gotta love any guild named Smurfies. As a child of the 80s, this guild is very dear to me. I grew up watching that. You can see your current rankings, and we were so good, but now we're 31. No. We'll get there. It's new, right? We're all learning. We're all learning. So that's my current rating. And then you can, of course, see the rewards, what your guild qualifies, where they were, which is good. And you can see you get 5.3K. Now, here's something important. Here's something subportant. Look at that. What kind of English is that? Here is something that is important. You see that you get 5.03K of the shards. This is split among all attacking members. You don't personally get 5.03K, okay? This is split among you guys, all right? I don't know when they pass this out or how. Oh, it's weekly. There we go. So at the week's rewards, your ranking here for contribution is currently how many of these shards you should get for the entire week. So for me, I'm staring at 233 is how much. If it were to end today, this is how much I would get. So I get 5% of those. That's what this contribution means, and that's what that equates to here. I'm pretty sure. I think. Yes. No? Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That sounds good. So obviously I'm unsure, but I'm almost positive because SW works the same way, and I played a lot of Guild Wars in SW. And then, lastly, if you click Battle, you can see who has spent, who has not. This is important if you're the GL or an officer. You want to know who's on top of their attacks, who aren't. If they have green little marks here, which I disagree with this. There has to be a better way to show this. But if they have green marks, that means they've used all of their attacks, and in this case, won all 3. If they have no marks, they haven't used their attacks. If they have red marks, that means they used their attack, but they lost. So ideally, as a GL or officer, you want to come in here and see all green, or at least green and a little bit of red here and there, but you don't want to see blank spaces because that could be an indication it's time to kick that person, have a discussion with them and say, hey, how come you aren't using your attacks? If they don't have a good reason, or I forgot, and they've forgotten a few guild wars, then it's probably time to replace them on defense and offense. You can also see the log, so if you're an officer, this is something to go and see, okay, who's doing what, who's won, who's lost, etc., etc. We don't have any losses this one because the guild looks to be a lower level guild, or they're a farm guild. So there you go. That is the basics. And lastly, the thing that we all want to know is why we all do this. You get 2 things from this that are rewards, right? We get our deluxe shards, which you can come in here, and then you can spend your deluxe shards to get whatever the weekly dealy mabob is. And then the next one is you go in the shop, scroll all the way to Guild Wars, you can buy this. Now, just a tip, don't buy this, don't buy Fire Disc, don't buy Water Disc, don't buy Nature Disc, don't buy Legendary Shards. Maybe a Star Fuzzle Puff, but you can farm that stuff, don't do it. Not a Super Fuzzle Puff, don't do it. Wild Shards, don't do it. Deluxe Shards, don't do it. Gun Mage tokens, do it. But make sure your guild doesn't want you to upgrade your guardian first. Some guilds are hardcore, and they don't care what you want as an individual. They want to make sure the guild progresses first. So your guild might have a mandate that says, hey, you have to upgrade your guardian before you do your gun mage. If that doesn't work with you, don't try to fight the system. If everyone else agrees with it, you disagree with it, maybe it's time for you to find a new guild. So, I mean, that's how a lot of hardcore guilds are. I don't mean that rudely, but if everyone's already agreed upon it and you're the odd man out, then maybe you should look for a different guild. But I want to do this myself. My guild hasn't come right out and say they want us to do Guardian first, but they've said, they suggest, like, hey, you know, do this first. So how many of these do you need? You need 100 of these bad boys. So you need 4,500 of these, whatever they're called. What are they called? You can't see what they're called. War tokens. Okay, so you need 4,500 war tokens because you have to buy this bad boy 10 times. And then you get to come over here, spend your 100, and just like SW, go for whichever one you want. Now, looking at these abilities, honestly, I think just like SW, the water gun mage looks to be the best one to me. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but when I read the skills, this one seems to be the best one. One, because dude, his passive for his active is no matter who he's attacking, he always has elemental advantage. That is baller. That is baller. Like, it just doesn't matter. He always has element. It's just baller. Like, I love that. Like, I think it's just it's so good. It's so this one's my favorite. This is how it is. I like this one. Plus, dude, his ult he can do if he's stunned, feared, provoked, immobilized, or silenced. Like, what? It doesn't matter. Gun mage don't care if he's stunned. He's still gonna do you in. Plus, okay. Plus, this is a good thing about all gun mages. I'm gonna tell you guys the secret to the best thing about every single gun mage. This is quite possibly the key to survival. But every single gun mage, ladies and gentlemen, is a brother. Yeah, what's up with that? What I'm saying, and the brother is dope. He's rocking the lokes. Look at his picture. He's like, Drake ain't got nothing on me. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. You learned something. If you didn't, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. And as always, all you do's and dudettes, stay frosty.